Good afternoon, everybody. We are back. It is the Big Man on Campus podcast, and we're live here on a Monday, February 5th, 2018. I'm your host, the Big Man on Campus, getting you ready for a short card in college basketball. Looking forward to trying to find another winner here as we embark on basketball only for the next couple months here. Welcome into everyone out there listening as always. Hope you had a great Monday. Hit the like button, retweet the show if you're on Twitter. Always important to get the show out to people. Continue to tell your friends and family about it if you think someone might like it that you know. I appreciate you doing that. As far as the card today, not a ton of games. We will find some value, though, on the card here. There's one game I'm liking here, so we'll key in on that and hopefully get another winner. Welcome into everyone. Thanks, as always, for the comments and the congratulations. We appreciate it. But it's all about basketball tonight. We got to move on here. Like anything in life, we have to move on. We'll celebrate with the parade later in the week and cap off an amazing week and night in Philadelphia. So yeah, thanks to everyone for the comments. All the people in here: Steve Sanders, Tara Roan, James Ross, Tiger Bob, Paul Thibodeau, Styles, Tone City, Brock Kyle, Michael Watt, Kyle Jasper, Joel McDonald, Laws Fagan, Jeff Slaughter, Matt Varnum, Blue Bayou, Tutliest, Chef Michael, Abdul Basit, P. White, Dusan Vlahovic, CEO, Alois, Greg Hickman, Nathan Brooks, C. Church, Ryan Gosling, Dre for Trey, Lance, Adam, John Mill, Adam, Brian Manning, Kyle L. Everyone in here, welcome in. We appreciate it. Let's get into what we did yesterday. Had a winner on Niagara plus the points. They win the game outright. And cap off a nice week, 9-3 with my plays last week. 9-3 on the season, 92-55. 63%, up 31.10 units. Yeah, we continue to kind of ascend to 40 units, hopefully. That's our next goal. We'll take it day by day and hope to find it. Let's get into the games today. Shouldn't take us too long. We'll save some questions for later in the show. If you have a question that you want to ask or have something you're concerned about, please leave that till the end of the show. Let's get into the card here. I'll start out with my play of the day. And I'm going to go down to a conference that I really have a good feel with. This isn't a conference that's lined very often, but it's back, and I'm happy. MEAC Mondays is returned. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm a big MEAC guy. I know this conference pretty well. It's really kind of always been kind of in my wheelhouse. It's not a conference that's lined very often. You're going to start seeing SWAC and MEAC games get lined. The reason for that is they're on TV and the books line them. So we're going to get on to game number 725, 726. I'm going to lay the number with North Carolina Central here, -3.5 here against Hampton. Lavelle Moten's done a great job at NCC for many years now. He's done a really good job there. He's had the opportunity to go other places, and he's kind of stayed there. And what I like most about this game is, one, they're actually honoring him tonight. They're actually raising his jersey to the rafters down there tonight. So I think for this basketball team, emotional things don't really do much for me. I'm not a big fan of those spots, but when you have schools like this, you have a school here out of the MEAC with really good values, HBCU. They don't have a ton of people, only 3,000 people that go to these games. It's right in the middle of Durham. They don't really, it's more or less a Duke UNC territory, but you have these small, intimate gyms, jersey raising, things like that. I think those do a lot for the team involved. And I really like that kind of edge here. Moten's been a great coach, and I think with the whole jersey retirement thing, I think that's a big edge in this game tonight. You should have a live crowd there. They always have good ones. And, I think the major the difference here in this game is the defensive numbers. Hampton under Ed Joyner is, they've been one of those teams out of the MEAC that have done some good things as well. I mean, both these teams have been very good in this conference for many years. And the thing you got to like about these teams are they're going to go up and down the court. They're two of the better offensive teams in this conference. The MEAC is not a conference rife with offensive talent. It's a poor shooting league generally. They don't do a great job at making shots. But this Cincy Central team has got a huge edge in this game defensively. I mean, you look at against at home this year, they're 9-1 straight up, and they're only giving up 64 points a game. They're holding opponents under 40% shooting. Opponents aren't making threes against them. They're not really getting to the line a ton. This Hampton team has had major issues defensively. You look at on the road this year, they're giving up almost 86 points a game. Opponents shooting over 46%, and they're 2-11 straight up on the road. They've had trouble, and that's just the truth of the matter. They're going to put you on the free throw line. The only kind of concern I have here is can NC Central make free throws? But they're shooting it at 73% at home against the against that free throw number. So I think I'm confident in this one. I like both these teams, but I like NC Central a lot more. I think they have a huge defensive edge in this game, and I like the whole Jersey retiring thing for their coach. I think this is a team that, I think that's a thing for this team that will really kind of propel them here, motivate them in this game. Give me NC Central here -3.5 as the play. Do people really care about getting their name cut out? Seems like a waste of time. Well, Michael, when you have your own show, you can decide on what you do. It's my show, and I want to thank all the listeners. So here's a shout out to you. Don't tell me what to do. You don't like it, get out of here. I don't care what you think. If you think it's a waste of time, then on your show, get your own show and don't do it. But I'm going to shout out all the listeners that come in here and appreciate it. So you don't like it, see ya. Play of the day. -3.5, NC Central. Let's go through the rest of the games here. And we'll start up at the top with where are we going to go here? Let's start at Indiana-Rutgers. This is an interesting game. And I got to tell you, if I'm betting this game, I'd take Rutgers. This Rutgers team's been really good at home. 8-2 to the spread at home. Indiana's not been good on the road. They're off a real tough loss. Actually, they're off a couple tough losses. Purdue, Michigan State. Now you got to go on the road and face a team in Rutgers who has been absolutely marvelous defensively this year. They're giving up under 60 points a game. Only letting teams shoot 38% up in Piscataway. I think the under looks pretty good here as well, but you got to look at this number. The only concern I have here is, the number's been bet up. People like Indiana, they're betting on the line's going the right way, but now you're seeing a little buyback on Rutgers, which is interesting. For me, if I'm taking this game, I'm looking towards Rutgers. Just look like the play here. I like their defensive numbers. I don't think Indiana's an unbelievable offensive team. I don't really see an edge there. They've not been good on the road. Gun to my head, I'd be on the Rutgers Black Knights here. Jeff always shows love. Yep, we always have to. Go on, Adam, all you guys. The Rack's a tough place to play. Yeah, it is. Another small gym, kind of right on top of you there as well. Great point. Syracuse, Louisville. Don't have a ton on this game. Obviously Syracuse has their issues on the offensive end. And if I'm back in Syracuse, I'm generally wanting to back them at home. I just feel a lot better with that. I think they could stay in this game on the defensive end. Obviously, it's something they can always do. Louisville, they have shot the ball well, though. So it's not a great matchup per se. But I guess Louisville, you look at what they've done, haven't defended a great level. I don't know. Just don't have much feel in this game. It's going to be a pass for me. West Virginia, Oklahoma. Look, frankly, I'd be on the Mountaineers again, getting 3 here. Oklahoma is. I don't know. I just don't like them defensively. I don't know how else to say it. They're giving up a lot of points. I don't ever feel like they can get a stop when they need to. They're giving up, over 82 points a game this year. In conference, they're giving up over 85. That's just not good enough. And we saw in game 1, Javon Carter was fantastic against Trae Young. I still believe West Virginia has the ability to do something in the tournament. I think they can win the tournament. I really do. I think they're, again, the press is very reliant on. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But when you're getting teams on short rest, you got to go against a press. That's tough. That's really tough to do. I think they're a really talented team. I think Daxter Miles is huge for them. Guys like, Isa Ahmed coming in the middle of the year, they've given them such a huge boost. Um, it should be a great game. I generally, in these kind of games, will take the points, especially with the fact that, I love West Virginia from the foul line. They've done a nice job really at all levels. The only concern you have with West Virginia consistently is, are they good enough in the half court? I think they are. And can they defend without fouling? That's been a major problem, for this group. But, I see these teams pretty similar. You would think you'd get a bounce back here from Oklahoma, but I just can't get into them defensively. Should be a good game, but there's no way this is like a play of the day for me or anything. Big man, big day yesterday. Enjoy the parade. Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know why people keep mentioning that flu thing. Did it matter Saturday? And I'm not yelling at you, Naheem. I've heard another guy keep mentioning the flu. Stop mentioning the flu. It doesn't mean anything. These teams have plenty of high-level recruits and come in and play. And, look, for West Virginia, it didn't matter much because on Saturday they crushed who did they play Saturday? I'm trying to remember. Who did they crush? Kansas State. They beat them by 48 points, 38 points. It didn't matter much then. So, yeah, I don't care about that. Big man, thanks for the live video. Yeah, thanks, man. We had fun last night. Yeah, again, guys, save the questions for the end. I'll get to all of them. We're about done with this card here, so I don't have a ton more to do here. Siena Fairfield, no opinion. I hate the MAAC. Bucknell Lehigh. This was close to me for being a play of the day. This was the other one I considered. I considered the over in this game. I think it's kind of right where it should be. If it was like 154, 155, I'd go with it. But it's up to 157, 157 and a half. I fully expect Bucknell to score 80, 85 points. I guess the big question is, can Lehigh score that many points? The first game, they only scored 65. Bucknell turned them over 20 times. Lehigh is not a good defense team. They're going to give up points. I don't see any reason Bucknell doesn't kind of roll here, but it is on the road. Keep in mind, these schools aren't separated by very far, so you should have, Bucknell should be able to handle this situation. Bucknell is the best team in this conference by a wide margin. And if you kind of look at what they've done, they're really kind of similar to like UL Lafayette. They've really just been pounding teams. I think pace-wise in this game, both these teams very good pace-wise. Lehigh at 75th, Bucknell at 37th. Both these teams like to go fast. They both shoot the ball well. Both make their free throws. I guess the only concern is, is Lehigh kind of hamstrung tonight and only puts up 70? I just have a weird feeling. But if it was a couple points less, like I said, if it was down at like 154, 153 and a half, I'd be on this one. But just a couple points too high for me here. Final game, Jackson State, Southern. Two teams in a bad conference. SWAC is probably the worst conference in the country. Jackson State is really struggling to score the basketball right now. And this isn't a great spot for them just because, Southern has done great over the last 5 games defending. Jackson State's only shooting about 37% over the last 5 games. They are a better team than Southern, I think, overall. The Jaguars are usually a team that, represents the SWAC pretty well. Jackson State's kind of been, up and down. I don't have a ton on this game. Not one of my favorite SWAC games. I will get involved in the SWAC. If I looked at this game, I'd probably go under. I think this game is, decided in the low 60s. Maybe 65, 60, 65, 59 or something. I think it'll stay under the number. But it is coming down a little bit. 128 really not available anymore. So play of the day, I'm going to go with UNC Central or NC Central minus 3.5 against Hampton. Let's go through some questions here. We're only about 15 minutes in. I won't have a particularly long show today because I'm not going to labor on about the same points. Keep in mind, guys, tonight, if you're interested, feel free to check out the podcast, Viva La Vegas, with me and Blackjack Fletcher. We'll be live on the air tonight at 10:30 Eastern, reliving the Super Bowl, talking about prop bets, talking about college basketball, the NBA, whatever you want to talk about. We'll be taking live calls as well. Give us a call, say hello. We always get a lot of great callers. I want to keep that train going. So again, Viva La Vegas tonight, 10:30 Eastern. Blackjack and I will both be tweeting out the link. I knew Watford would win. Yeah, well, you knew Watford would win when Bakayoko got sent off, which, by the way, was a hideous, terrible penalty. That was an awful penalty. But what a surprise! Mike Dean made the call. One of the worst refs in the world. An awful decision. It was not a penalty. If that's a penalty, then we really need to look at what we're calling penalties on, or not penalties. Red card. Awful red. It shouldn't have happened. Bad call. Where do we go here? A lot of comments coming in. Thanks to all the listeners. Hit the like button. I appreciate all of you. Hope you enjoy the show. How about the guy eating horse crap? LOL. Yeah, I saw that guy. I didn't see him in person. He was a little bit north from me, but I did see the video. Listen, I've said it before. I'll say it again. A lot of the kids down there were whacked out of their mind last night. A lot of them were on drugs. Unfortunately, about in Philadelphia, drugs are a big problem. A lot of these kids do drugs. I heard the word ketamine a lot last night. It just is what it is, man, unfortunately. And that kid, have a feeling he had a pretty bad night, probably. But hey, you never know in Philadelphia, man. Big man is more of a GOAT than Tom Brady. Thank you. I don't know about that, but thank you. Is Khalil Dukes the truth? Yes, they both are. Matt Scott and Khalil Dukes. Yes, I like them a lot. Bruce Chad, what's up? Bruce Chad, make sure you call in tonight. Make sure you call in a little bit earlier. We'll make sure to get you up. We're running late the other show, and we couldn't get to you. We didn't know you were there because your number doesn't come up. It's all ones because you're an international caller. I'll get the NBA at the end. Some dude had 10 two-team parlays with Patriots money line on it. I don't know what he ended up doing, man. He called into our show on Saturday. I don't know what he ended up taking. I told him to take a side and then hedge for guaranteed money. I don't know what he ended up doing. Big man, you're not worried about the reverse line? No, man. No, I'm not worried about reverse line movement on NC Central Hampton. I don't care about reverse line movement on anything other than NBA and very high-level college games. No, what do you mean reverse line movement? All the movements come in on NC Central. The lines went up all day. What reverse line movement? I don't see any reverse line movement. You're reading too much into reverse line movement. There is none in that game. Any opinions on West Virginia? I already went over that. Do you like? Yeah, I already went over that. What team will Foles be traded to? I don't think he'll be traded anywhere. When's the Philly parade? Thursday. It was a terrible red card. You see, everyone agrees. I recommend calling it a big man show. You talk about whatever you want. Speaking of bad penalties, those two penalty kicks that killed Liverpool were awful. Yeah, I know. The first one was offsides. Harry Kane was well off. And the second one, I guess you have to call it, but I mean, that's Dejan Lovren for you. I mean, he's one of the worst defenders in the world, unfortunately. And that's why, Virgil van Dijk made it, but, I don't know. I just wish Lovren would go away, unfortunately. He's just shitty. Big man, look up the video of the ref discussing the late PK for Tottenham, threw up their hands and awarded a penalty. Of course they do. That's what they do. And that's why I hate Tottenham. I've never liked that group. I never have any luck with them. They seem to always fuck me, and they always seem to get a call late. Big man's the man. Thanks for all you do. Thanks, old miss. Appreciate it. The girl that got proposed to stole my heart when she was drinking Old English. Yeah, that's what we do, bro. She looked like a pretty big hipster, I believe. On a hell of a run once I found your channel, big man, especially for the DMs on Twitter. Yeah, good luck, Michael. Thanks. Sorry, man. Comments are coming in. Eagles coming out to the Meek Mill song was the best moment of the game. Yep, that's what we do, bro. Any World Cup future bets? I'll get some later. Lot going on today. I have some in, but we'll do that in a week or two. I think the Eagles. I think it's too early to decide. I would imagine they'd try to keep him, but who knows what you can get for him. Big man, I was just like you. I couldn't watch the ending of the game, so I went outside. I ended up watching your video. Yeah, yeah. I felt better out there, so I ended up dealing with that. It worked better. I like to hit on Cooks last night. Yeah, well, it's football. It was a legal hit. You don't want to get hit, don't play. What's your most memorable moment from the Super Bowl win? Most memorable moment from the game, I would say probably the Nick Foles touchdown where he caught the pass. I thought that was just stone cojones, man, to do that on fourth down, nonetheless. It was great. As far as the moment itself, probably when the ball got knocked down. I mean, and we ran to Broad Street. It was awesome. You know, and it was was the best thing about it, man. Seriously, was I lived in Philly for many years. It's like my home, and I saw so many people last night that I haven't seen in so long. Like the guy climbing up the pole. There's no kid in South Philly that would do that less than him. I mean, he's the one guy I knew would do that. He's just a nut, that kid. When I'm running down Sartain Street and I see my boy who I haven't seen in a year or two, my boy Riggy, like him and I have been friends since he was a young kid. I remember when he was a kid, like he always wanted to fight everybody. He was a tough kid, and he's been through a lot. And seeing my friends and stuff that I haven't seen in so long, it was just seeing people, that you knew throughout the years, and that's where I love Broad and Shunk because everybody's from the neighborhood, so it's all homegrown people. There's no people from out. It was great. That was the best part of it, man. Um, reliving that, you'll never forget it. Any Winter Olympic picks? Yeah, I did a video for SBR a couple weeks ago about that. As far as picks themselves, we'll get to them when before the day. Um, Big man, how about the coin toss? His name was Woody, not Willie. I didn't even notice. I don't think I even saw the coin toss. I think I was just out doing something else. I think I was outside. Peterson has massive balls. Yeah, Big Dick Doug. That's his name. Colorado State got suspended. Do you jump on them? The first team to play them? No, not necessarily. But they are pretty bad, so I don't think that would hurt. What about Tweety? What did I forget? Yeah, we saw him too. Yeah, right. Good call. He actually found me. I was just mowing around with my boy Bob, and he grabbed me. I didn't even. He came out of nowhere. Always good seeing Tweety. Big man, I read Zach Ertz didn't have one drop all year. That's impressive. Where would you rank him as top tight end? I don't know if he did have any drops. That would be interesting. That's interesting that you saw that. I didn't end up seeing that. I have to see that. I would say best tight end in the league. No, I think Gronkowski. I think Gronkowski is one of the most dominant players in sports. I mean, you talk about domination. I mean, who can cover him? I mean, he's like LeBron James. He's impossible. I'd throw to him every play if I could. Like no one can cover him. Uh, but as far as number two, I don't think it's out of the question to say he's number two. And he's had a huge. I mean, it's amazing how he's ascended into that role. I mean, because for like 2-3 years we were down on Zach Ertz. I mean, he didn't. He always kind of have an injury, or he always he never really played up to the level we thought he could be. But what a year he had. I mean, one of the better years of any Eagle. Career year. Um, Greg Olson's good. Kelsey's obviously good. I think you put Ertz right up there. Um, you know, Kyle Rudolph is not Zach Ertz. Shut up, Teddy B. Stop. Come on, man. Kyle Rudolph's like an old school kind of tight end still, I think. Zertz is more of a receiver almost. Yeah, Selleck deserves it, man. He's been there. I mean, Brent Selleck's been with the Eagles his whole career. I mean, he never left. I mean, he took off a moderated role. I mean, he started his career in '07. I was a senior in high school when he started his career. He's been with the team 11 years, longest tenured Eagle. Awesome. You know what's great? We get back all our people next year. Carson, Jason Peters, Jordan Hicks, Maragos. Maybe, Sproles probably won't be back, but get everyone back. Awesome. Now we try to build our own dynasty. That's what we try to do. Big man, you said Eagles had no chance in the playoffs. They won the whole thing. Some fan you are. All right. So I didn't say they'd win all week. I didn't say they'd beat the Vikings. The fuck are you talking about? Oh, Smith. Yo, oh no, I didn't even read your name. That's what you generally do. Negative idiot. That's why you got blocked on the other channel too. Because you're an idiot. Big Ben, to be honest, did you think Brady was going to drive down the field with 2.5 minutes left? I mean, sure. I don't think anyone. I look at how the game went. They weren't getting any stops. I think everyone was concerned at that point. But you made a play there, the one sack of the game. And I actually had the Eagles have the most sacks in the game. Minus 125 is a prop. And that last sack won that bet, and it won the game pretty much. Amazing. Kyle Rudolph is Jason Witten Jr. Exactly. He's an old school tight end. That's exactly what he is. I don't want to hear Jordan Reed's name ever mentioned anywhere. Jordan Reed, come on, man. Jordan Reed is a hack. He never plays. And yes, that has to do with him not, he's not that good because he never plays. Will Nick after ever buy another dinner in Philadelphia? Doubtful. Patriots are dead. I wish that strip check would have been Tom's last play ever. I told you, man. Last night, I told you all week. The dynasty is over. Bye-bye. What percentage of your bankroll do you suggest betting on each game when you only make one a day? I don't know. Listen, unfortunately, guys, I don't really have a bankroll. I bet the same amount every game. The goal is to make profit every night. So if my per bet wager is 300, that's what I bet on the game. So last week I made $2,700 win. I lost 3 games, so that's $990. So I won like $1,690 last week. That was my profit in basketball. So sometimes you win 400, sometimes you win 1,700. A lot of questions coming in. Nobody's worried about the Giants. Correct. No one is worried about the Giants. Serious rumor I heard. Eagles trade Wentz to the Browns. Shut up, Luke. Stop. Don't say shit like that, Luke. No, that's not going to happen. As a Patriots fan, I wish would have say congrats. You guys made the plays and Pats didn't. Congrats again. The depression is real. See, Church, you win every year. I'm not going to feel bad for them today. I'm just not. I appreciate you saying that, but I think it's hard for us to feel bad for you. I mean, you win every year. I mean, sorry, can't really feel too bad, but I thank you for the kind words on us. My brother can say he played against Super Bowl champ Derek Barnett. Yeah, good point. Big man, I was trolling, but is Meek Mill able to watch the game in jail? Yes, from what I've heard, yeah. In most state prisons, in most federal prisons, they have TV. And for the Super Bowl, yeah, they generally have the games on. I talked to my bro. He told me they watch every game. He watches more TV than I do. He watches all the, he was telling me he watches the Versace show. He watches all shows. So, I think I think people are just a little jaded by prison. They think it's like really terrible and stuff. It's bad, but I mean, like he was telling me, like, he had to watch TV. If you have money in prison, you can do a lot more. And Meek has a ton of money, so yeah, Meek was fun. He watched the game for sure. Wentz is not going to get exactly. I don't know where you heard that. You must have heard that on like a Reddit board, maybe. Who's Nick? Where's Nick? Nick is needs to settle down. What if Wentz doesn't bounce back from his injury? I don't know, Nick. What if we get hit with an asteroid? I don't know. I guess we'll have to find that out, right? That's why you keep Carson. I mean, Nick, what if I died in a car crash tonight. I mean, what if? Brian Rowe, I was at Gina's and Pat's yesterday. I don't know if I'd admit that, but great. Good. What'd you have? What does number one thing Eagles need to address in the offseason? I think that's a great thing about this group. I don't know that there's a ton. What would I want them to address? I'd like to see another corner or, some kind of, guy that can play, at least to battle those guys, I would like to see them go after that in the draft, maybe even to battle Jalen Mills. Is Sidney, we still have Sidney Jones. Remember that as well, guys. Sidney Jones didn't play really. He played little in that Dallas game, but he's the number one corner when healthy. So the Eagles are only going to get stronger. We need to see who leaves. Obviously, I'd imagine Darren Sproles will retire. I'd like to see like that kind of player, like a do it all kick returner, punt returner, someone out of the backfield. I wouldn't be, Barner can walk for all I care. And I'd like to see a player like that, kind of one of those scat backs out of the backfield, really fast. That kind of player. What else? I'd like to get some stability at kicker. I mean, I'm not saying Sturgis isn't Jake Elliott's not the guy who did a whole hell of a lot for this team this year, but I mean, I'd like to see him improve. I mean, the missed extra point stuff is a little old, frankly. But I mean, we're grasping for straws here. Um, always plugging the offensive line is always important. But it's great when you win the Super Bowl because you don't have a ton of your concerns. You can take chances, you can take shots. I'd like the Anthony Thomas wouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't mind that. I would address it in the draft. Obviously they're going to be picking last. You know, if I don't think like a Darius Geis. Darius Geis is more of a bigger kid. I got to do my draft preview. I've only up to like the 14th pick, so I don't have all the picks. But yeah, we'll look. I mean, we'll take a look at it. All that Malcolm Butler stuff is kind of strange. Yeah, it was. Sure. Yeah, Sidney Jones. We're looking forward to that. I didn't like the pick initially, but now that it's all over, I'm excited. No, I have one play tonight. NC Central -3.5. Let's look in the NBA here. See if there's any plays tonight. Okay, guys. Before we get to the NBA, I want to explain something here because I'm really kind of sick of answering this. Frankly, Monday through Friday we have a show here. I give out my picks. That's how you get them. Saturday and Sunday we don't have a show. I put them out on Twitter. All these people continuously asking me what the plays are. I mean, I can't keep doing it. Monday through Friday, we have a show. The plays will be on there every Monday, just like we're doing here every Tuesday. Monday through Friday, they'll be on this show. Saturday and Sunday, they're out on Twitter. I put them out. I can't do a show every single day. That's how we get the plays out. Play was sent out yesterday on Twitter. It was there. If you don't get it, I don't know what to tell you. Uh, but that's just kind of how I have to do it. All right, let's take a look at the NBA here. See if there's any games tonight that are worth looking at. Again, I mean, guys, these are plays that I bet strictly on system bets. Let's see what we have here tonight. Eh, not a ton to really get interested in here. Yeah, not a ton to really like tonight. I don't see anything right now. Maybe later. Big Dick Donnie, you're the man. Thanks. Weird name. Um, how did I do in MLB last year? All right. Following Big Man on Twitter is one of the best things I've ever did. Thanks, Costa. Appreciate it. All right, we'll wrap it up for tonight. Everyone have a great night. It's about 5:35 here. Um, no need to keep going here. We got all the plays out. I think we got all the questions out. Join me tonight, as always, on the Viva La Vega show with Black Jack Fletcher. We'll be on there live at 10:30, taking your calls all night for about 2 hours, actually. Join us there, and we can have some fun there, taking your calls with the Super Bowl. Sending in my congratulations. You can call me and say congratulations, big man. All that stuff. You can join us there tonight. Follow me on Twitter at Jeff Nady to find that. Tomorrow, Donnie Rightside's back. We'll be back on the right side of campus, 10 o'clock a.m. We'll get his thoughts on everything. He was down in Costa Rica. We got the parade to look forward to. What's your NBA 5 power rankings? Warriors, Rockets, Celtics. That's it. I don't have anyone else. Those three. Those are the only three teams I care about. All right, guys. Everyone have a great night. Appreciate you tuning in today. Tonight's play, NC Central -3.5. Everyone have a great night. See you Tuesday. Bye-bye.